Hi, I'm Kate Solisti. Welcome back to A Kinship with Animals, my YouTube channel where I share messages from the wild animals, messages from companion animals, as well as experiences, health tips, and stories from my many years, over 28 years as a professional animal communicator, author, and teacher. And today I wish to talk to you about viruses and bacteria. Many years ago, I was speaking to veterinary students from all over the country at the Student Veterinary Medical Association meeting at Colorado State University in Colorado. And I received a question from the veterinarians when I was discussing animal communication and how one connects. Can you communicate with parasites? Can you communicate with bacteria and viruses? And my answer was, well, yes, of course you can. Because parasites, viruses, and bacteria all have a level of consciousness that we can connect to. Obviously, bacteria and parasites are living beings. Viruses have some very interesting characteristics. But because they are living in collaboration, if you will, with the human or animal host, there is life happening. There are procedures happening that have everything to do with the living being who is the host, as well as the being who is, in some cases, making the animal or human sick. So what does that mean in terms of the current pandemic, the current crisis with viruses, the current challenges of viruses passing from animals to humans? Well, it actually has a lot to do with that, because it also has to do with frequency and vibration. So if our bodies are operating at a very low level, and what creates those low levels? Low level of frequency and vibration happens when the body is ill, so it's depleted, it hasn't been receiving good nourishment, it is lacking in moisture, and a very, very key and important piece is it is stressed. We know from these markets, these wet markets in China, that all of these animals are kept in a terrible condition, all waiting for death. And it's a terrible situation. And so when this happens, these animals' systems are highly stressed, and the frequency and vibration shifts in a way that these viruses and bacteria go crazy and multiply in a way that they are then also sloughed off to the humans that are breathing the air around them, that are dealing with bodily fluids, all kinds of things. Now, what do we do about this? Well, this is a level of consciousness. This is a level of awareness. If we expand our understanding, and that can happen through science, through biology, just examining what happens in this case with the physical bodies of both these poor animals and the humans that are killing and consuming them. What is happening there is pretty traceable. We can trace all of these, the flu epidemics that we have every year. Most of them start in China. SARS did, swine flu, bird flu. All of this started in these places where these animals are kept in such appalling conditions. And there are so many humans. So all of these things create this stress, create this low level of vibration and frequency due to lack of consciousness and connection. So that is the most important piece that you will hear in these messages from the wild animals that I share. It's about remembering our connection, because through our connection to one another and to all living beings, our vibration, our frequency shifts. We become healthier on every level. We're talking about things that are recognized in quantum physics today, and in the very newest science, unfortunately, a lot of which is not being taught in schools. So those of us who are becoming conscious and aware have an opportunity, and I would say perhaps an obligation, to share this understanding. And again, you can back it up with science about frequency and vibration and energy and how it can shift based on our thoughts, based, of course, on what we take into our bodies. That includes the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food, how it's prepared, what is the state of the soil that it is planted, that the plants are planted in, how are the animals treated that we consume, what are they fed, This is all linked together. For as this beautiful quote that is attributed to Chief Seattle, as what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. There's no more important moment than now for us to recognize this, to embrace this connection that we all have. For none of us are in isolation. We are all connected. We are all family. And the sooner we remember this and we learn, again, what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves, which also means what we do to the soil, we do to the plants, which in turn we eat or we feed to other animals, we do to ourselves. So once that is recognized and embraced, so much change can happen. For when the consciousness of humanity raises, all of this frequency and it shifts. The frequency shifts, and solutions that we could not even see before, we could not even conceive of before. These solutions appear because we have changed our energy. We have changed our perception, but we have changed our consciousness. So my hope and my optimism for the future stems from both the many, many communications that I have received from the wild ones, as well as from the plant kingdom, from the beings of the ocean, from the insects, throughout all of these years. The messages give me hope that as we come back to our place of connection and a sense of true family, all kinds of solutions to problems we've created can be implemented. And then there is hope. There is hope not only for humanity, but there is hope for all living beings on Mother Earth. This is the message I wanted to share with you today. And when there is an opportunity to connect through meditation, through love and touch, of course with our companion animals, so much of their unconditional love we communicate with and share due to touch. So don't forget, we are physical beings in a physical body, and we need that loving touch from each other and from the animals. We can be loving and appreciative of the food that we take into our bodies, saying grace, doing Reiki, energy work, anything to show gratitude to the plants, to anything that we eat, raises the vibration and frequency, and that has been documented. And you can, there's lots of fascinating information about how the energy of the food in front of the people who are praying over it or doing Reiki or blessing, whatever it is they want to do, how that energy shifts in the very food on the table. So that is a simple thing that each of us can begin to do, showing gratitude and appreciation for the food that we eat. And then we begin to see more and more connections all the way back to the soil and the microorganisms that are essential to life, and how we simply can no longer disregard their health and well-being, nor the plants, nor the animals, nor ourselves. And viruses and bacteria and parasites play a role in all of this. And it's about creating balance. And together, when we really become one, we become unified as human beings in our understanding and appreciation of one another, and we connect lovingly to the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and the mineral kingdom. All things are possible. So I leave you with that positive thought. Yes, there's a lot of work in front of us, I get that. But I believe that all of us who are here on this planet right now, who can see this, feel this, understand this, and share it with those who are ready to learn and to hear, that's why we're here. We're here to help move everyone forward, back into connection. Thank you for listening.